I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give an F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. Now I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil. I ain't been clean since Eden. It's a war going on outside, make you put your hands on your head like the Macarena. That's why I gotta watch my demeanor. You know they locking up blacks and Latinos. It's the same old game, ain't nothing really changed but the mileage on the meter of the Beamer. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can do this with my eyes closed. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give an F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. I'm so outspoken.
Welcome into the Week 4 Sunday morning fantasy football live show. I am your host, Ben Hosser. I'm joined by Anthony Carson. We are here to answer all of your questions, whether it be season-long, DFS, props, whatever you guys have, whatever NFL questions or life questions you guys have for us, we are here to answer. Let's first shout out our sponsor, Owners Box Fantasy. We were talking about it. Anthony and I went live in our Discord last night, and we were talking to all these new people that got in our Discord about Owners Box Fantasy. You can still sign up at ownersbox.online using promo code KARMA. Gets you a $500 deposit match and a free $10 entry into their DFS tournament today. $10 to enter $50,000 prize pool and a $10 entry into Lightning lineups, which Travis continues to just dominate. I mean, we've said it, Anthony, how many times? If you're looking to grow a bankroll,
literally every week.
if you're looking
Travis
to
has
grow a
won more
bankroll,
money than has he won more money than everybody in I feel like
yeah,
our entire DFS
he has
community.
one.
Insane.
I think he has won the most money out of anyone playing Lightning lineups. We have
You
Owners Box
guys
projections on the site, content, all kinds of stuff for it. So you're not going
listen.
to be alone.
I know you all love DraftKings and FanDuel. I do too. So does Ben. That's what we talk the majority of. But again, you have to find the early niche and the early edge when these other platforms come to light. And I feel like that's what Karma is really good at is, advocating for stuff like this. And I'm serious. Like I cannot wait until the Lightning lineups is legal in Ohio because I can see what's happening there and there is money to be made. And the best part is, guys, you can all get on the same team. You can all play the same plays and all win together because you're not playing against each other like in DFS, which is harder, right? Like we're going against each other and and you can tail those lightning lineups and everybody just absolutely crushes together. So hop on over. If you want to learn more, come to dfskarma.com and click the Discord and then we'll start showing you, what we're doing and how Travis is winning. Literally he's probably gonna get 50 grand after this week. So hopefully he doesn't break the website itself so we can continue to work with him.
They're gonna start limiting Travis, but yeah, start dropping your questions. We will answer them, and most importantly, hit the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. It does help with like the algorithm and stuff. We'll get some more people in here. I see some familiar names in the chat. Anthony, Kamish, Milan from Discord, Sierra Man, our boys in here. So
Sierra.
before we get to these questions, we'll let the questions build up here for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about just the slate in general, because last night when we did the Discord live show, like a lot of questions were coming in about the weather. What are we doing with the weather?
Yeah.
I wasn't as concerned with it last night, but now at least in the Philly game, it looks pretty bad. So I was really, really heavy on the Eagles. I think I'm gonna have to move some of my tournament teams around. I mean, Baltimore and Buffalo has dropped 4.5 points since open, but the over/under is still holding at 50. So maybe not quite as much of a concern, but what's your thoughts on the weather and just the slate as a whole, Anthony?
Yeah, it's I'm looking at betkarma.com, the live trends tool, which is free, guys. You should be looking at this all week long. This is how I'm like thinking about making my bets early in the week, and then later in the week I'll add a couple other things. But you can also look at it in terms for DFS. That's what we do as well. And Ben's talking about the line movement. I'm looking at that, and yeah, the lines are dropping more significantly actually than I even thought throughout the week. I mean, I knew the weather was going to be a thing. I know everybody's talking about it. I get it. My quick thoughts are I am more off the Eagles Jaguars game in specific, but I still am. I'm going to have like my Bills Ravens exposure. Like nothing's changing there. I'm not blanking. The weather does look actually really bad in that game as well, Ben. They look equally as bad. You know me, I was a former weatherman in my early life. So I did study the weather this morning kind of in depth, and they just look atrocious. So the macro thesis for me on this slate, which is funny, Ben, because we were, sipping our cocktails late last night, talking in Discord, and that was awesome. Everybody that was in there, thanks for joining us. But DFS is a funny game because even this morning, I didn't think I was tinkering overnight. Like I really do. I have most of my lineups that are the same, but I have made a couple macro changes, and I'm just more all in on the dome guys. We got a game in Indy that we'll talk about. Obviously, the Browns Falcons, which will be probably somewhat popular, but maybe not like what we think. We can talk about that. Lions Seahawks, duh, we know that. A lot of chalk there. A lot of Lions exposure. Feels like an NBA slate. But there's also a couple other games in domes. The Texans Chargers. And ironically, the Cowboys Commanders. I mean, I think there's a couple fantasy guys you can pluck from all these games. And even the Panthers Cardinals game, like there's still aftermath effects going on there. So I'm kind of funneling my thoughts. I'm thinking about this in baseball for all you baseball DFS guys out there. I kind of want to stick with the Coors Field scenario today. Like, just give me all the guys in the domes, kind of fading the weather because whatever, get your hedge to the Bills Ravens. But that's what my thoughts are. My core play is listed on FanDuel. Like, I'm sticking with it. I'm paying down because I feel like the ceilings of the Lamars, the Allens, and the Hurts, even on FanDuel, are going to be suppressed because of the weather. So I like a lineup I got. I'm all in on Nick Chubb today, and I know it's harder to do on DraftKings, Ben, but I want to get my exposure to Chubb on FanDuel. I had a huge play for our subscribers for Prize Picks on him as well. But I think he's only going to be like 3 to 5% owned on FanDuel, and I'm going to play him in my main lineup and just kind of roll from there. But I needed some salary relief, so I'm actually paying down to Geno, who can still get 10 to 15 to 20 yards rushing, but I like the game environment in general still.
Yeah. So if you guys are watching this and you are subscribers or you want to be subscribers, Anthony and I's core plays both are live on the website for you guys watching this. But yeah, I pretty much agree, man. The weather does look a lot worse than it did a few days ago, so that kind of sucks. We just can't have nice things, I guess. But we'll start going through some questions, and we'll talk some more. Any concern for look, weather question right off the bat? Any concerns with Josh Allen and cash lamps with the weather? Yeah. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? I haven't really had any Josh Allen in cash builds, even though I think it's him versus like a Mariota. But I just it's the value is kind of, it's just not great, So I've kind of just been dropping off to Mariota this week.
I actually was kind of holding my cash lineup on Allen all week. I still think with all this value, like, you definitely, Ben, can get away with, like, I would be okay
Yeah,
rocking an Allen
you
lineup.
can do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, for
very
sure.
okay with it.
For sure.
But I'm on the Browns game like you are. The problem is Mariota is probably getting steamed on other sites. I mean, it was a good play kind of all week, but now that Miles is out, Ben and I obviously study the Browns more than probably anybody out there, but they're losing 5 starters today on defense. Like, the front seven is literally in shambles. And I don't think, even if Clowney goes, Ben, he's going to be limited. I mean, the Browns have the drop in those guys to the next guys is very significant, and I think Mariota is going to have a field day today. From the RPO perspective, like, I don't know if he's going to have a huge passing day because the Browns secondary is good, but I think that Mariota definitely has the upside today, and I see you're playing him in both lineups. I'm looking at your core plays, which are live, like you said. I had him in FanDuel kind of all week, but I just feel like FanDuel, I don't know. Like, I like my lineup and Geno Smith works, and it's like I got all the Lions, but on DraftKings, I am playing Mariota in cash games.
Yeah, I think that's the move as well. Yeah, we both have glasses on, Mitchell. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, my
DraftKings
eyes.
cash. Raymond Hawkinson, Bears versus Richie James, Njoku, and Seahawks. Already have 3 Lions, or already have Jamal Williams, so you don't know about 3 Lions. I think 3 Lions will be pretty popular in cash games, to be honest. So I would probably just play that first one. Do you agree with that, Anthony? You think people playing 3
Yeah,
Lions? I think they are, to be honest.
do. Yeah, I mean, right now, I think I got 3 in my DraftKings. FanDuel, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it on
FanDuel is
FanDuel. Like, I
different.
really don't.
DraftKings, I think 3 is fine. FanDuel, I agree, probably a little
I
bit
just
different.
feel like FanDuel, you can just get killed if you played it. Believe me, I want to play Richie James, Cleve Raymond, all these guys. But I don't know. I feel like you just need the studs. Like, it looks like a couple of those guys are priced pretty cheap on FanDuel as far as wide receivers go. And there's a lot of cheaper running backs. Like, I don't want to play, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Running back in Pittsburgh. Sorry, brain freeze. I
Oh,
don't, but it's
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris, but he's 7,000 on FanDuel, and it just kind of like fits my lineup. Like, again, I'm not
Yeah,
like
I think
thoroughly enjoyed to play him this week, but FanDuel is different, and I do think he's fairly priced on DraftKings. They're coming off 10 days rest. I mean, dude, it's a home game. They're going to go back to the run game. I feel like, we all know he's not explosive, but this could easily be a 2-touchdown game, even if he only has 80 yards.
Oh yeah, Najee versus Jamal on FanDuel is a whole different conversation because Najee's cheaper. So I do agree with that. Yeah, so again, while you guys are funneling in here, we're gonna be building an owner's box lineup for their GPP on the stream. We'll wait till like the midpoint of the stream. We're gonna go through some of these questions first, but just so you guys know, we've been doing that the last couple weeks. We are gonna do it again.
By the way, I did get some kind of like people questioning my Geno play in our Discord. I knew I would.
They're always questioning us,
I
man. They
love it.
question me
It's
about playing all kinds of people all the time.
But
man.
I will say, if you go to
all
the
the time.
projections portal, what Ben and I talk about nonstop, I mean, this is how I do make a lot of my decisions. I'm fully aware he does not have a high ceiling, but again, on FanDuel, I feel like it doesn't matter as much. Like the bonuses aren't there. Kind of is what it is. But Geno does rank as our fourth best quarterback on the slate for FanDuel in terms of value. So there's that little tidbit.
Yeah,
And you
I
can
mean,
access that if you're a
they were
subscriber.
questioning me about Amon-Ra like a few weeks ago. Like, it's all right. Sierra, man, I don't think Diggs is a must on FanDuel cash. Personally, do not. He's a little bit. I think Adams will probably be higher on than him, to be honest, because he's cheaper.
Are you playing? I didn't even look at your wide receivers. Are you playing Diggs on DraftKings? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Messy week in DraftKings cash this week. 2 questions. So I think Mariota's probably the better play, but again, Anthony kind of said it. You're never going to go wrong playing Allen and cash. And I'm not concerned about playing multiple Lions, AJ, just because I don't know. Vegas clearly doesn't care, which is weird to me. I mean, I feel like generally when, the best receiver and like running backs are never going to affect like Vegas lines that crazy. But when you're like coupling all these guys out and their receiving crew is going to be, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Quintez Cephas, they still have they have the second highest team total on the board. It's a half a point off the Bills. They're still 3.5 point favorites. The over under is still 48.5. Like clearly Vegas like just doesn't care that these guys are out, which I think is interesting. So I wouldn't be worried about the Lions, I guess, because I mean Vegas clearly isn't.
Yeah, I'm not. I said that last night too. I still like the game. I mean, that's heck. I need Geno Smith to do something today. So
is that Jimmy G on the left? Yeah, Anthony does kind of look like Jimmy G. I do.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
do
ever
get that
have you
from
ever
a lot
got
of my friends.
that?
It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, Britt, we are doing a owner's box lineup. Best cash defense 24 and under. I'm assuming you're talking about DraftKings, obviously.
Probably Seahawks. I mean,
Yeah, you can do
luck,
that,
though.
but I don't know. Defense is so annoying. I think I'd rather try and get at least to like the Jets at 26 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan, I guess Jags are fine, I guess, because of the weather, but I don't know. I don't love that. Kevin, season-long PPR start 2 of Breece Hall, Jeff Wilson, and Lockett. Give me Jeff Wilson and Lockett, I think. Let's see here. FanDuel cash, 7,100 left over. Najee, Javonte, Pierce, or Penny. You're taking Najee Harris, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce, no.
Milan says Baltimore weather's fine. I don't. Are you like? I think he like lives up by there. But
yeah, I mean that's why I'm not. Again, I'm not coming off that game. I do have a really
I still
nice
have.
stack.
I'm still playing one Hurts team, but the problem was I was really really heavy on it. So I'm still gonna have one Hurts team. I'm gonna have one Bills team. I might make a Ravens team, but then I'm gonna go heavier, I guess, on Detroit. I'm gonna go heavier on Justin Herbert. I mean, there's just it's nothing else to play on this slate, and I can't dude, I'm tilting. I have all these contests registered. I can't like get out of them. Like, I just have to like figure something out, I guess. So
we are projecting I'm looking at the Bet Karma props comparison, which guys, if you're not a subscriber, you can at least look at the odd stuff, but their projections, like this is how I quickly study for DFS. Like people were asking last night, like, how do you guys do all this study? And we explain the process, but I update the props comparison tool literally all week long at betkarma.com. And again, it's interesting to see like both Metcalf and Lockett just top 5, I mean, this game is interesting.
Yeah. Mitchell says, thanks for having us last night. Yeah. What other website, their lead analyst is Saturday night just ripping a 2-hour Discord show for you guys? Because there ain't no one else doing that. And I said I might go 3 hours next Saturday. We'll see. But Josh Allen, Matt Collins, Njoku, or Mariota, London, Hawkinson for DraftKings cash. I think you're taking that second one for sure.
So Ben, while you're looking at some questions, I know we talked about London last night. Like, believe me, the Browns secondary is good, but he is a baller. I mean, the dude's just, I mean, he's gonna be involved. I just love that game. And then, I talked about Chubb, which I love, and Matt likes Hunt. We all like the running game, but Amari Cooper, I did mention early in the week in our Discord that you're looking at all these guys at 6K range. The Deontay's, everybody that's right there, the Lockett's. A lot of these guys are very chalk. But man, Cooper's the same price. He's getting all the targets. He's getting all the air yards. He's in a dome game, a game that I like. I'm overexposed to Amari Cooper this week. I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think Amari's a great play, especially if you're not playing Chubb or something. I think, and you could play him in London together. I mean, for sure, even
Our
without
price,
playing Mariota.
our prize picks prop predictor, which again you can access at Bet Karma, absolutely loves Cooper as well this week.
Yeah. Mike, what's up? Yeah, Mike, I was gonna wear, dude, I was gonna wear an Eagles hat, but I went thrifting the other day. I found this Eagles hat. I was gonna wear it, but I mean, this weather sucks, so now I can't play the Eagles. I had so much Eagles. I was gonna wear the Eagles hat on the stream. It was gonna be perfect, but we just can't have nice things around here. So Diggs isn't a 100% lock in cash because I'm playing Diggs in cash, man. I'm just not.
Yeah, I think I'm playing Diggs and Cash too on DraftKings.
I'm not worried about it for that.
I mean, Matt brought up a good point last night too. Like, I feel like he's it doesn't matter the weather with him. He's getting these balls at the line of scrimmage now. He could easily have 8 catches for 90 yards. It'd be like a Tyler Lockett game, and it's like, all right, give me the guaranteed points.
Yep. Is Mariota going to get steamed on DraftKings where he may end up being the cash quarterback? RJ, I think he was going to be the cash quarterback anyways.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, this week. So.
Did you see my Galaxy Brain play, Ben, in Discord?
What is it? Is it? Oh, in that game?
Yeah. Off of Mariota, just go to Brissett, same price.
Oh,
Brissett
yeah. I can
outside.
see it now with
Cooper Njoku. I mean, bring it back with London. Like, he easily can outscore Mariota, and then you could have the massive upside with Cooper. Like, London will be owned, but I don't think Njoku is going to be owned as much as we think, because there's kind of a lot of guys. I really like that game stack. I want to stick to the dome games today. Give me whatever teams. Like I said, you think I want to play Matt Ryan? I don't want to play Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
But I just give me the good environments. Let the NFL DFS do DFS. Last week in Indy, I was all over that game with Pittman and the Chiefs. And my God, if Kelsey caught that touchdown pass, I'd be right there for over a 6-figure win. It went right through his hands, if you saw. But again, I was attacking that game for the dome purpose. Kind of similar story to this week.
Yeah, Tristan, thanks for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, talk me off OJ Howard again. Dude, Tristan's like the biggest OJ Howard fan in the world. He asks me about OJ Howard every week, dude.
Come on, man.
Well, okay, so if you're playing like the Millie Maker,
yeah,
you could play OJ Howard.
FanDuel.
But and if you were like playing Herbert maybe on the other side and stuff, I think you could consider it, but I don't make enough teams to get there. Concerning the Chargers, who's the better play, Palmer or Williams? I mean, I really like Palmer at his price, but I mean, dude, Mike Williams, why? I feel like Mike Williams is like week 1 chalk. Now Keenan Allen's out, and like no one wants to play him. It's like so funny. And yeah, like their offensive line is banged up, but dude, Mike Williams has an extreme history of just smashing when Keenan Allen's out, and Houston's been really beat by like the bigger type receivers, right? Like Cortland Sutton, and week 1, like we loved Michael Pittman against Houston. He had a good game. Like Mike Williams fits like that archetype of receiver that's had success against Houston this season.
Totally agree.
Do I have 3 Lions on DraftKings for cash? I don't even remember, to be honest. I would have to go look. I know I at least have 2. I don't know. I have to go check. For DraftKings 3 max, would you prefer getting to Charger stacks over Philly stacks? Yeah, I think so, but I mean, I like the Chargers. I wrote the Chargers up in my article. I like them. I don't love them. Whereas like before the weather stuff, I loved the Phillies, or not the Phillies, the Eagles. So I don't know. I still haven't figured out quite what I'm gonna do, to be honest. That's why I'm just really annoyed because I have so many entries, Anthony. I can't get out of them. I just got to figure out what to play. It's so annoying.
I love it. Do you, Ben,
Go ahead.
talk to me about CD Lamb because he's in your FanDuel core. I mean, I think it's interesting. Is it just a price thing for you? I mean,
Yeah.
are you not worried about Gallup and is Gallup and Schultz are back? I mean, isn't Jalen Tolbert? I saw some report this morning that's like, I don't know.
I
I mean,
know
it feels like a lot
he's
of
he's
guys.
too cheap on FanDuel. He's too cheap on FanDuel. DraftKings, I know Matt is kind of interested in him now with this weather stuff too, but yeah, I mean, yeah, those guys are coming back, but like Gallup hasn't played yet. Schultz is like clearly banged up, but Cooper Rush has just been feeding CeeDee Lamb. And Washington's secondary is attackable and they're at home. You know, you don't have to worry about the weather stuff. I don't know. I think he's a fine play. For FanDuel specific, he is just too cheap overall. DraftKings, I'm not sure if I'd play.
So if you were making quote unquote an optimal on FanDuel slash, hybrid, kind of like I like to do a little bit, you'd be okay. Again, just hear me out. I know they're not the same price, but coming off Devontae Adams for like a CD Lamb, like you don't think there's a massive difference on that? You like the value so much on CD Lamb that you would
Yeah.
make a move like that?
Yeah, I mean, Devontae in general, it's Devontae Adams, right? So like they have a 24 per team total, which is one of the highest on the slate, and it's Devontae. Like you don't ever have to worry about it. But Denver does have a good like outside secondary, right? And I don't know, Derek Carr. I don't know, man. He hasn't been. He just all he did week one was throw to Devontae, and he just hasn't been throwing to him since. It's like really strange. But I think Devontae's fine. Like again on FanDuel, Devontae's way too cheap, right? Like why is he 79? I think he'll be owned, but how my build worked out, I don't know. I think it just was better to get in the that 6K, like 6 to 7K tier. You got off Josh Reynolds. I have tons of Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, me too. I don't have him in
I
cash
like Josh
somehow.
Reynolds.
It's
Yeah,
just the way
so
the slate is.
dude, it's
Like,
what we were
I don't
talking
know.
about last night. Last night on the Discord show, we were like, dude, are people really gonna play Josh Reynolds over Raymond for 1,500 more or whatever? And then I get up this morning, I check updated ownership projections, and they're projected like the same ownership, So people are not playing Raymond and Reynolds together. It's one or the other. I think more people will end up playing Raymond because he's 3,100 and he's going to play in the slot. So that makes me like Reynolds more in tournaments too, because I think he'll be a little
gun
bit lower.
ahead. I already know your answer, but I'm going to ask it again. Just take price out of it. I guess I'm talking FanDuel now. Mike Williams or Michael Pittman? You kind of heard me talk about Michael Pittman earlier, but if you had to choose,
Ooh,
I'll give you
is it
a
FanDuel or DraftKings?
FanDuel. Again, take price out of it. They're basically the same.
Yeah, I think they're basically the same in price, and they're probably going to project about the same as well. But I would take Mike Williams.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so much leverage on FanDuel going to Michael Pittman and just, with the Chubb lineup. I mean, I'm trying to coach myself into this because no one's going to play Michael Pittman. He is the same price as like, your Cortland Suttons, your Mike Williams and everything. But man,
I don't think
like
anyone
Pittman,
will play Mike Williams either, though, Like, I think they'll both be 5% or less, to be honest. Let's see here. Are you okay with Justin Herbert and cash? No, I would not play Justin Herbert and cash.
Kyle Pitts is going to have a good game, by the way. Speaking of like Pitt, I mean, he's going to have a good game. I mean, the Browns are so beat up. I mean, just so beat up in the front seven there.
It's like him and London both are just gonna have good games. I think. Can we get a whole season worth of Ben's beard, dude? I'm tilting. The beard's getting put to the test today. If we go 4-0, it's staying.
Put it to the test.
Yeah, it's getting put to the test. I purposely didn't shave. If we go 4-0 today, I'll keep it. Let's see. Godwin, McLaurin, or Dortch. I have no idea what the context is. If you guys are asking questions, make sure you put like DraftKings, season long, whatever. Based off that, with no context, though, I think I would say Chris Godwin. Do you have any lean there? Godwin or like McLaurin or Dortch? I mean, Rondale's back, so that hurts Dortch, but I think I'd take Chris Godwin. Favorite game stack on today's slate? I don't know What is yours? Dude, I'm playing around with like getting like some Jared Goff in my life. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Ma-
it's probably the
Even though that's
Browns,
like the
honestly,
chalk game,
Falcons.
but yeah, Browns Falcons is good. Black Rain asks for my flex Hunt or Zeke. I think we're both taking Hunt there, right?
Yeah, I actually am interested in Zeke, kind of like what I was explaining earlier. I mean, I'm interested in him. Home game, dome game, 6,400 now. I mean, my God, or whatever his price is just insane. I get it. I get it. Not a good play. There's Pollard, but I don't know, man. A slate like this, especially with a lot of that chalk running back at 6,000 ish, like Zeke easily could just have a Zeke game and bank a couple touchdowns. And I don't know. I think it's interesting leverage.
Yeah. DraftKings Cash London or Lockett. I think it's really close. Probably Lockett, just because you're playing Lions guys. All right, guys. Like 10 minutes, we're gonna build an owner's box lineup. So keep dropping questions. We'll answer as many as we can, and then in like 10 minutes, we're gonna build a lineup for you guys. Khalif Raymond and DraftKings Cash to fit Diggs and Saquon. Aaron Shank asks. Yeah, I think that'll be popular. Do you agree with that, Anthony?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Bo, Dobbs, Raymond, or Burks for cash. I think you're taking Raymond. For sure.
Raymond. Burks is amazing. Oh,
Yeah, I like
wait, is he
Burks in
talking about
tournaments.
Tavon Burks? Yeah, amazing tournament
Yeah,
playoff.
with JT, you can play them together. I think it's good. Kirk Cousins hurts here. I haven't watched any of that game. I've been so busy this morning trying to figure out what to do with this
I
weather.
saw
but I
Olave.
can
I'm watching
imagine.
in the background. Olave scored again.
DraftKings Cash, Diggs and Cooks versus Mike Williams and Pittman. I think you're taking the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
Cooks is like, I feel like every week Cooks is chalk and he shouldn't be, and now like I don't think he's going to be as high owned as he normally is.
Yeah.
I think it's a good matchup for him.
It
Honestly.
is. It is.
Do you like Richie James or Reynolds more? I like Reynolds more personally.
Reynolds.
I think Reynolds is like not bad, man. I don't people were like, I saw like tweets and people were like, it's not Josh Reynolds' season. Like, you can't play Josh Reynolds. Like the guy had 10 targets and 90 yards. They're like, he's gonna get 40 yards. Like, he just had 90 yards last week and Amon-Ra played. Like, what are these people talking about? Najee, Lockett, Palmer, or Pierce, Gallup, Mike Williams for a tournament?
I'm not on Pierce as much.
Yeah, I might take the first one. Pierce is good. Like, if the Texans are could the Texans be winning this game? Yes, but last week I think there was like more of a legit chance they were winning because the Bears are just so bad. Zay Jones is inactive. Is this accurate? Because I saw he was supposed to play, but let's take a look here. I don't really know what that does because we're just not on that game anymore, but I'm trying to figure this out real quick. I don't see anything. Richie James versus Matt Collins, DraftKings Cash. Probably Richie James, right, Anthony?
Yep.
Sutton or Amari for DraftKings Cash? I think I would lean Sutton.
And I feel like Amari is the play, but yeah, the public will play Sutton if you want to do what they do.
Sutton is just good, man. I think Sutton and Amari are very similar. Like, they're getting similar work. I think they both have good matchups. It's very close for sure. Thoughts on Wilson for FanDuel? Who is Wilson? Are we talking about Zach Wilson? Because if that's the case,
yeah, but no clue who
that's
Wilson
a no
is.
for me. Logan, 3v3 question. Repost it, Logan. I'll answer it before we build this lineup. I'm gonna pull owner's box up right now. Survivor picks. Do you have any survivor picks, Anthony, for this week?
I mean, Packers if you have them. I feel like they.
Yeah, Packers if you have them. Don't hate the Colts either, to be honest.
Yeah, me either.
All right, we're gonna build a lineup for owner's box right now. So Travis, if he's here, he can pull that up on the screen. But Anthony, if you want to pull it up too. Last week we did like alternated. So like I picked a guy, Sam picked a guy, so we can do that again. Okay. We'll put this in the $10 tournament, $10,000 first place, $50,000 to enter. You can play this exact lineup with us, by going to ownersbox.online. Use promo code KARMA, gets you a free entry into this tournament. All right, yeah, so it's up on the screen. All right, Logan, real quick. Najee, Lockett, Palmer, or Pierce? Yeah, it was the first one for me, Logan. Thoughts on Dobbs today? Tournaments is fine, but I would not play Romeo Dobbs in DraftKings Cash, Nick. Anthony, I'll let you start. Who do you want to put in? Do you have like a stack or something you build around, or do you have a player you want to put in this lineup? There's some good value over here on Owner's Box this week.
Yeah. I feel like, do we go with the I mean, is Mariota gonna go? I feel like Mariota won't be chalk though.
No. Yeah, if you want to do, okay, so we could do like a Mariota stack with Nick Chubb, but I think the question is going to be like, do we want to play this chalk Jamal Williams at $5,000? Like $5,000 is extremely cheap. I think we just plug him in, right? Just not worry about it. Yeah. All right, well that's easy then. So we'll go Mariota, we'll go Jamal Williams, we'll go Nick Chubb. Do we want Pitts or London stack here? I like both. I think you like Pitts more, but man, London, I mean, he's juiced on the over for his props. I mean, this guy is just so good, man.
I guess you could play both, right? I mean, we could technically get really weird and throw Cooper in here, so it's like a legit game stack. Honestly, like I'm telling you, that's like, I feel like the move today.
Well, will we use Brissett then?
I'm playing, like, a lot of my lineups is like this. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see how the salary comes out. Yeah, put in London, put in Pitts.
Okay, so Travis, we'll put London in at wide receiver, Drake London. How much is he? I gotta put this in so I can.
Jamal's just so cheap.
Why is he 5,000? This is absurd.
They've been pretty good with their pricing too.
They have. It's been tough, dude. It's actually been tough most weeks to fit 2 QB, but this week it's like a little bit different, I think. All right, so we'll put Drake London in.
Your boy is 4,900.
I mean, who's 4,900?
Rashad Penny.
Ooh,
that could be your random. That could be the
pivot off. I don't know, man. Do we want 2 running backs though in the same game? Maybe we switch Jamal for Penny and then use a Lions receiver.
I don't know about that. I have no problem playing multiple guys from that game though. Like I just feel like like I said, it's like an NBA slate.
All right. We'll put Penny in at flex. And then we'll have money to spend then.
Khalif Raymond's 3,600. Just play him at wide receiver.
Oh my god, dude, we're not gonna be able to spend all this money.
I've never seen this much money in a lineup before. This is actually hilarious. I feel like you shouldn't even play. Well, instead of Penny, honestly, I feel like you should play Lockett.
Yeah, like we can. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll go Khalif Raymond and we'll go Tyler Lockett over Penny. That's gonna give us.
Lockett's gonna have like 8 catches today. Just like lock.
I agree. I think it's a great spot. Okay, so
now you could get weird. You finish it off. There's 2 spots.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so 64 left for flex and super flex.
I mean, the guarantee though is to play like a Josh Allen. I mean, that probably is the move. Play him in the.
What about?
You still have 5,400. I mean, you're guaranteed amazing points with Allen. Even on a bad game, he's gonna get you 25.
What about Herbert?
You love Herbert.
I do. He's 68. Put Justin Herbert
again.
in.
He's only a $400 difference.
Yeah, but let's see. I want to see like what we can stack him with. Because if we could get Mike Williams, then
I bet what Mike is cheaper than you think.
6K. How much is?
It fits.
Does it fit? Oh baby, there we go.
How much is he? I can't find him.
Let's see here.
Sort by Mike Williams. He's 59, so that does work.
Dude, it's perfect. All right, there we go. There's the lineup. What do we got? Marcus Mariota, Jamal Williams, Nick Chubb, Drake London, Khalif Raymond, Pitts, Lockett, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert. That's actually a good lineup. I like that. I'm gonna put that in as well. There'll be a massive train of this lineup for all the people watching this. Maybe we'll just take first. It'd be great.
How funny would that be?
Oh, that's like my dream. That would just be so fun if we built a lineup on here and it did that good. Play Elijah Moore. I don't know. What's your take? Do you have any Jets today? I just have no Jets.
No,
but I mean,
really.
Zach
I actually have
like
Conklin, I think, in one lineup. I think I have him in one lineup.
Okay. Mike Williams or CeeDee Lamb is a one-off. Mike Williams, I think. The problem for me, like if you're stacking the Chargers, like I think it's hard to stack like two receivers if one of them is Mike Williams, because when Mike Williams goes off, he takes everything, you know?
Yeah.
But like if you're stacking like Palmer, like maybe stack Palmer and Eckler as the two guys, because they both could get there on like volume. But when Mike Williams goes off, like no one else is going off. He does everything.
That is true. I did think about that. I'm playing Palmer in my main season-long team, which I drafted him and told my league, and I quote, "This is the cheat code of the league." I just knew that he'd be a late-round steal, and I got to ride it today. So I'm actually playing a double barrel stack with Palmer and Mike Williams. So
Nice. Logan has some Conklin. I think Conklin's fine. I mean, he's cheap. I prefer Bob Tonyan to Conklin, though, personally.
I got some Tanyan because you kept bringing him up last night.
Yeah. So okay. So I have a question for you. Like, not even from the chat, but this is for if I'm if I'm doing the gutless play of playing Jared Goff on my main tournament team. Do we like Pitts and Drake London and like a mid-price D, or do we like Tanyan and wait, I think I messed that up. Pitts and hold on, I gotta pull this up now because I sound like an idiot. I'm debating between playing Tanyan and like Pitts, basically. So it's like Tanyan and Drake London, or Pitts and like, you know, anyone else in that other tier. You like Pitts more, right?
I do, yeah.
I mean, spending 4,100 on a defense is dumb, right? I mean, is this correct?
Yeah, I was actually toggling with them last night with one lineup, but I kind of came off them.
I don't know, man. I'm tilting. I'm gonna have to figure this out after the stream. Tanyan over Njoku, Joseph. I think both are really strong plays. I think it's easier to correlate Njoku because you're interested in these Atlanta guys, right? But I'm not playing any Patriots. So Tanyan's like just a one-off guy I like if I need the salary on a team. He's also like, it's a later game. I don't think anyone's playing Tanyan, but he could easily score a touchdown or two, I think. He's not gonna. Njoku has a higher, like, Njoku could get like 100 yards receiving, right? Like, I don't think Robert Tanyan's ever doing that, but Tanyan could score a couple touchdowns. Njoku over Hawkinson and Cash. What's your take there? You could just playing Hawkinson because he's chalk?
Yeah. And then I'm complete fade in tournaments.
Yeah, I have 0 Hawkinson in tournaments as well. Tanyan Barkley or Njoku Pierce? Wow.
I'm just not playing
second.
Pierce today.
I guess the second. What's your take on Barkley? Do you have Barkley in your main team? Some people are asking about him.
I mean, I do on DraftKings. I don't have him anywhere else.
He's gonna be so owned on DK.
Like, I figured, like, I'm ironically, Ben, I'm playing way more volume on FanDuel. I guess I'm treating it more like a, hybrid.
Dude, I actually like FanDuel for NFL. I don't know what's happening.
So do I. I always kind of historically liked it. I mean, DraftKings this week, like, I feel like my lineup is so chalk, and I guess I'm okay with it. And I just hope they all fail. I hope everybody in my cash lineup fails on DraftKings, because I don't really have much exposure elsewhere. I mean, I have some of the Lions sprinkled around. But yeah, I hope they all fail. I hope I lose cash this week on DraftKings, as crazy as that sounds. I do say that a lot, I prefer the tournaments.
They could fail and you could win, though. Like,
you could still barely win.
Yeah.
Yes, like you could kind of get your money back, maybe a nice little small cash.
Especially me, because I have like a slightly different lineup in like 2 spots, I think. So I think
you do.
I think I can win regardless. Hoyer for 100K? No. I'm not. Anthony, how many teams would you have to play to get to Brian Hoyer?
I mean, I would never play him.
Like 1,000? If you had 1,000 teams, would you have any Brian Hoyer?
Do you know my Brian Hoyer story?
No, what do you know him? I mean, I know he's from
Cleveland. You know how old Brian Hoyer and I are? We played each other on the same
field.
Yeah.
Think about that. You played against him?
Dude, I played against him, so we were
oh god.
It was in the playoffs. Our Strongsville public school here in Ohio, huge public school, and like we could never beat the Catholic school St. Ignatius, which, as you know, Ben, is like not only like the Ohio, like the school but I believe they have the most championships in the history of the nation of like the power Division I schools. Like they are the school, and we could never beat them in the playoffs. I mean, we had a great team. I got called up freshman year, and you just sit on the sidelines and watch the game. I did get in at the end of the game because we were getting killed. I mean, Hoyer just tore us apart. But dude, that was many moons ago, and he's still in the league. That's insane.
Yeah, he's been hanging around as a backup, man, just collecting checks. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you guys have any more questions, drop them, and I think we've answered most of them. So we'll head out here in like 5 minutes if we have no more questions. But drop them in. Anthony went to St. Ed's. No, he did not go to St.
No,
Ed's.
I went to Strongsville.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys are checking out. Like we talked sporadically about all the tools at Beck Harm. It's crazy how much has come to life. Just in the last 6 months and prepared for football season. Like I'm using it all throughout the week. That's how I actually study a lot of my DFS. And of course, we have everything at dfskarma.com. So a lot of you guys are on here as freebies, and that's all good. That's why we promote this. It's, we would love to have you join us for one of our products at dfskarma.com or betkarma.com, and hop in the Discord and you can chat to us all week. All right. I don't. He just said power went out. Oh my God. Dude, it's like hurricane winds up here. I do not have the chat up, but I can keep talking. So I guess you know what? While we're trying to get the chat up, let me just go through these are my final tournament rosters. And like again, I have high dollars on these guys. So if you guys are still watching, this is kind of the routes I'm looking in tournaments. I have a Herbert stack. I am playing double barrel with Palmer and Mike Williams. I know Ben kind of somewhat disagreed on that, but whatever, that's what I'm doing. And I'm bringing it back with Cooks and Nick Chubb. We've talked about how I'm high on Chubb, so I really like that. I mentioned my Matt Ryan stack. Like nobody's going to be on it, but Pittman's going to be so low owned, and Trayvon Burks is 4,700. That's the exact price I think is Josh Reynolds on DraftKings, or $100 difference, and everybody's going to be on him. I think that's an elite pivot with a lot of upside in that lineup, and you can, in theory, sprinkle some chalk around that if you want. I actually have Najee Harris in that lineup with the Steelers defense. I don't think anyone's going to be on the Steelers defense. Defenses do matter, unfortunately, on DraftKings and FanDuel. I hate it, but they do. And owner's box is great because there's no defense. But I think that's an interesting correlation play that I'm playing this week on DraftKings is the Harris and the Steelers D. I'm keeping my Josh Allen stack. My Galaxy Brain stack is Jacoby Brissett. Nobody's going to play him, but again, dome game, sticking with that. I love Amari Cooper. I love Chubb, but I do like Amari, and Amari could steal the show. Unfortunately, I would lose on FanDuel if that were the case, but I am overexposed to Amari Cooper in tournaments on DraftKings. I think he's got a lead upside. Again, dome game, sticking with the London and the Pits, just like that game in general. And everyone's going to play Mariota, but Brissett could easily outscore Mariota. And I got, AJ Dillon in that core. I'm looking at it right now. I have Devontae Adams in my flex. And then my last main GPP is a Geno Smith stack. Same thing I'm doing on FanDuel, but I have one on DraftKings. But I'm going with the DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett there. That's kind of like just a complete game stack for me. So that's where my head's at for week 4, already a quarter way of the season. But again, I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of time left, guys. It seems like a lot more people are joining our community. You can learn about Owner's Box and watch Travis win $50,000 probably by the end of this week. You're crazy if you're not tailing those lightning lineups. Not sure if Ben's been able to hop back on here or not, or if we have any final questions in the last few minutes here. I'm checking. Okay. All right, guys. Good luck this week, and we will talk to you next week. See ya.